First of all, my friends, I hope this finds you well. Imagine you're at a funeral and people are reflecting on the life of the person who passed. What are they talking about? Are they talking about the person's house? Are they talking about the person's bank account? Maybe their stock portfolio or some guff like that? No. When someone dies, we remember how they lived. We don't remember how much they owned. Generally, that's by the by. People don't care about that. But what we remember is how they lived. We remember their love, their kindness, their faith. In today's passage, a man interrupts Jesus mid-sermon with a request. Imagine now, I'm a priest. If I was stood at the lectern preaching and somebody interrupted me with this kind of request, I'm not sure I'd take it, to be honest. When it says, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." This man isn't asking for help understanding God. The man's not even trying to pray. Remember the previous video, we talked about prayer. What he wants is help getting more stuff, more things, more things that we own, things around us. He wants more stuff. Jesus sees this deeper. He says, "Watch out, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions." That's good. That's the setup for the parable of the rich fool, which is a warning to anyone who believes that the stuff we own equates to who we are. Jesus tells a story about a rich man whose land produces a great harvest. He has so much grain that he runs out of room to store it. Now, let's be fair. This man, he's not a criminal. He's not stealing or exploiting. He's grafting, he's working. He has earned what he's got. His land has produced a lot more, and it's a blessing, right? Absolutely. But blessings can become burdens when we treat them as ours alone, when we lock them away. Look at how the man talks. "What shall I do? I have no place to store my crops." Of course, he's having a conversation with himself, and I don't know about you guys, but I do that quite a lot. There's no mention of God. There's no mention of thanking the Lord for the harvest. There's no plan to help others. He doesn't say, "Okay, well, I need 60%. This 40%, I'm going to give it away." Or, "Okay, listen, we'll come to the other way. Man's got overheads. No problem. I need the 60% to feed me and my family. I'm going to sell 20% and give 20% away." Yep, okay, cool, man's got overheads. You got to eat. Man's got to live. No problem at all. But there's none of that here. None of it. He doesn't even stand there and say, "Oh, thank you, God, look at that." He's like, "Oh, wow, look at this. Gee, where am I going to put it all?" He's so utterly self-focused, it's unbelievable. And we see that now. There is great swaths of this country where people behave and think just like that. I'm not getting on at any one group in particular. I'm just saying it's there. We see it all the time. Case in point, food banks I work with are finding less and less donations. Now, hear me out. Not from people, from corporations, from supermarkets. They're getting less and less. Why is that? Because the supermarkets found ways of selling the stuff that they would normally donate. And so what they did was they sold it, taking a blessing from those that needed and turning it into their own greed. Because that's what greed does, my friends. Greed isolates us. You did this. You earned this. It's all yours. That's what the little voice tells us. You know who that voice belongs to, don't you? I'll give you a clue. It's often depicted as red with a pitchfork. But we hear that the way you earned all of this. All this guff. I can't swear. All this lot, right? Yeah, okay. It's treasured stuff. It's possessions. I would give any of it away if I thought it would help someone else. Any of it. Because what we're told comes from Deuteronomy 8:18. "Remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth." This man here forgot the source. All this stuff I got behind me, it's only here because God allowed me to have it. This house, God put me here. This career, God put me here. This life, God put me here. This man forgets the source. This man stands there and says, well, yeah, gee, I had a good harvest, really, didn't I? So what does he do? He said, I'll tear down my barns and I'll build bigger ones. In today's language, I'll expand my business. I'll double my investments. I'll secure my retirement. His goal, comfort. You have plenty of grain laid up for many years. Take life easy, eat, drink, and be merry. Now, let's be clear. There is nothing at all wrong with saving. There's nothing at all wrong with enjoying the fruits of your labour. Nothing. The problem is not wealth. The problem is focus. The problem is worship. Hear me out. This man worships the wrong thing. His hope, his peace, his security, they're all wrapped up in what he has. And notice this. He assumes he's got many, many years left ahead of him. It's one thing to earn it. It's one thing to save. It's one thing to have. That's great. It's the attitude around it that people have often got umbrage with. Again, not wealth. That's not the problem. Problem is not wealth. There are plenty of people that have got a ton who really do try to help others. And that's great. There are people that have got quite a lot and they acknowledge that God gave it to all of them. The man in today's story and great swaths of the world these days forget who it was that provided that for them to begin with. And then, of course, there's the lie. The lie here, as long as I have enough, I'm in control. Oh, you deluded fool. Jesus reminds us you're not in control of time. Your soul is not yours to manage. There's a line, isn't there, in, the film Brendan Fraser, Liz Hurley, Bedazzled, is it? When he gets locked up and he's talking to another inmate. He's sharing a cell with a man. And he talks about how he did something stupid and sold his soul to the devil. And the man, the homie, is possibly God. I think it's actually very heavily implied it is God. But he says to Brendan Fraser, he says, you can't sell what was never yours to begin with. You can't sell what ain't yours. Our souls belong to him. Moving on, God says to this man, you fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you. This is one of the few parables where God speaks directly and the words are chilling. You fool. Why? Why does God call this man a fool? Because he planned for everything except eternity. He prepared for his retirement quite nicely, but he ignored judgment. He protected his assets, absolutely, but he lost his soul. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself? All the barns, all the grain, all the luxury, all the wealth, it all stays behind. It's a very dear friend of mine, Jenny. I've known her years, and she's been a great inspiration to me. She's a bit older than me, but she's wonderful, and Jenny's got a wonderful saying, you can't take it with you. And so she just, if it comes in, she'll use it to do some good. Can't take it with you. And she's grafted and she's worked all her life. Can't take it with you. So let me ask you this, my friends. And this is for all of us, including myself. If we were to be called home to glory today, who would get what we've prepared? More importantly, what would we take with us? This is the thing, my friends. We take nothing into eternity but what we do for God and what we do for each other. Those things, they come with us. How we behave, how we act, the things we do on earth, they come with us. Stuff in my office, all this stuff on the shelves, none of that comes with me. I get taken home to God tomorrow. All this probably gets boxed up and sold. It doesn't come with me. My friends, we take nothing with us into eternity but what we do here on earth, what we do for God. And Jesus closes this parable with a summary. He says, this is how it will be with whoever stores things up for themselves but is not rich towards God. Here's the key. The issue isn't having things. Have things. By all means, have stuff. all this stuff here. There's no problem at all me having that. Whatever your stuff is, there's nothing at all wrong with you having that stuff. The problem we have is when we live as if the stuff is all that there is, that there is nothing behind it. What does it mean, though, when Jesus uses those words? What does it mean to be rich towards God? Well, it means living with a heart of gratitude, not ownership. It means using our blessings for God's purposes, not just our personal gain. It means investing in things that last: people, worship, service to each other, eternity. Being rich towards God means recognizing that this life is short, but God is forever. And so finally, let me give you 3 questions to take with you, my friends. What am I storing up? Ask yourself that. What am I storing up? Are we building barns or are we building people? Are our treasures on earth or in heaven? Secondly, where's God in my plans? The rich fool had a great 5-year plan, but no eternal plan. Do we invite God into our goals, into our finances, into our dreams? And thirdly, what do we consider enough? Is our definition of enough always just that little bit more? Or do we learn to live in contentment and generosity? Would we be happy just having enough for us? And so, my friends, to bring this into land, the rich fool wasn't evil, by all means. He was ordinary. He was just a man who thought that security came from stuff. But Jesus calls that thinking foolish, because no amount of grain, wealth, or success can buy more time. No amount of wealth, grain, or success can guarantee eternity. Think of it in these terms. If tomorrow I was to be taken home to glory, and if at exactly the same time Elon Musk was to be taken home to glory, each of us stand in front of our Maker exactly the same way. It doesn't matter that I haven't got 2 brass pennies to rub together, and it doesn't matter that he's one of the richest men on the planet. It won't mean nothing. We'll still be stood in front of God exactly the same way. The question is not, how much do I have? The question is this: am I rich towards God? So let's live differently. Let's live with open hands and not clenched fists, as the world tells us we have to. Let's live with grateful hearts and not anxious hoarding. Let's live with an eternal vision and not a short-term 5-year plan. May we never be called rich fools. May we instead be known as faithful stewards, rich toward the only one who truly matters in the end. Rich towards our Lord and our God. My friends, hopefully that has given you a little bit to think about, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, by all means, please reach out right here. I'm going to commit. It's here. But by all means, please do reach out on the email address. Please do comment, like, share. Please share the vids far and wide. I don't care if they're seen in Timbuktu. Heck, I'd like that. Share. Send them out. All right, my friends. And I'm recording this earlier because I'm actually away this week. I've had a lovely week at my mother's. It's been great. I've been resting. I've needed it. I'm absolutely exhausted. Anyway, friends, listen. Have a great week, whatever you're doing, okay? And I will see you soon. God bless you, my friends, and take care.